Symantec has released new research on global ransomware threats. The annual report provides a comprehensive look back at the key ransomware attacks and trends from this year so far, including the arrival of the new generation of self-propagating threats like WannaCry, which affected more than 150 countries and over 200,000 people. One key finding, during the first 6 months of 2017, businesses accounted for 42% of all ransomware infections. Joining us now to discuss some of the key findings, Symantec CEO Greg Clark. Greg, great to have you back with us.
Hey, Emily, thank you very much.
So what were the highlights of the latest report?
You know, I think the effect of ransomware is definitely with us, as we saw from WannaCry and Petya. I think the average price settling in the $500 per infection range.
Right.
I think really interestingly, tools for making this kind of ransomware have emerged. We found one in China that's made for criminals by criminals that allows them to mint ransomware attacks for Android and participate in the financing, so something we really care about.
So the demands have actually experienced some inflation, right? The price is going up in terms of what these guys are asking for.
Absolutely. We think that this kind of stuff is going to be with us for a long time. More than just crypto locking computers, it may be things that are extortion related, but something that consumers and businesses will need to care about for a long time.
So what do you think when you look at the cyber landscape right now? Obviously things are moving quickly. What is the biggest threat?
So I think the threats are broad-based. There's definitely an easy way to make money through ransomware. There's also still a massive plague in identity theft. This is still something that's with us all across the world. And I think really protecting your identity, making sure that you have services that alert you about your identity being stolen, the protection of your credit is important. And then there's also the huge proliferation in the home for consumers around IoT devices that are doing bad things, emanating from the house. And I think this is another crisis that we have to be careful of right across the globe.
Now, Symantec has been making a lot of acquisitions. Some say the company is basically going through a complete makeover. What is the actual integration strategy? What does that look like?
What's that look like? Yeah, so we made two really big transformational acquisitions: Blue Coat on the enterprise side and LifeLock for identity protection on the consumer side. Those have gone extremely well, and as we've been reporting on those in our quarterly calls, I think our consumer business has gone very well. We had period compare, we'd been down 8% in our consumer revenue. After LifeLock, we were up 1% same period. There's very strong results. And we just did two other small acquisitions, one called Fireglass. This is focusing on the area of isolation. This is a topic where we don't let the bad code or the bad malware get to your endpoint or get to your server. It runs in the cloud. Very powerful technology. And then the other one, SkyCure, which really brings us up to best in class on all the mobile platforms.
And you've just finished a trip around the world.
I did.
And you're seeing some emerging trends that really change the cybersecurity landscape.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I just came back from, I just circumnavigated the globe in the last few days. So I just got off the plane from New Delhi. So
well, thanks for coming in.
That was very good. So I think a couple of things, some of the economies out in APAC are moving to a cashless economy, big digitization efforts in their society. And I think, in India now, you have your bank account on your phone, and you can do all your e-commerce and things like that in a very emerging economy. The attack surface increase is massive, where you have the ability to get at banking and get at payments on a phone. You have a lot of criminal activity. So I think, this is something I think is going to play globally for quite some time.
And the security environment in the light of the Petya and WannaCry breaches, what is demand like?
Demand, I think demand is fantastic. We're seeing demand in consumers is on the rise, and in the enterprise it's great. Even in emerging markets like in India, we just had launched a service with Airtel to bring all of the cyber defense capabilities to their customers. That was, those conferences were packed. The follow-up was amazing. So definitely we're in a situation of strong pipeline build.